I'm Jessica and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm doing Disney princess inspired DIY bracelets. I chose 4 of the Disney princesses today: Ariel, Belle, Megara, and Pocahontas. I'm going to be starting off with Ariel using elastic cord. The first thing I'm going to do is wrap the cord around my wrist at least twice to give myself enough room to work with. So for this, I am going to knot one end, leaving enough room on the end to knot later, and I'm going to double knot so that it actually stays. For Ariel, I'm going to be using light purple and light green and these little starfish beads. To make her bracelet, I'm going to start off with a purple bead as my first bead. And okay, good. I've done beading before where my knot wasn't big enough and my bead slipped right off, so yay that the knot is big enough. Okay, so for this I'm doing a purple bead and then a green bead. Then another purple, then another green. Then I'm going to do one of the starfish beads. I want roughly 8 beads between each starfish, but I don't want the starfish to be at the end where the knots are. So that's why I did 4 beads and then a starfish, but this time I'm going to do 8 beads and then a second starfish. Alrighty, so I've miscalculated just a little bit. What else is new? And I don't have enough beads to go fully around my wrist. So I'm gonna add just a couple more to this side, or do I want to? I am going to remove all of these because, of course, don't fall away. No, come on. And I'm going to do this and then add another purple bead before each starfish, so that way I have a couple extra beads. Alrighty, it is still a little bit short, so I am going to add another purple and another green, and then we're gonna call it done, because I don't want to have to restring everything now. And this is stretchy cord, so it will stretch going on the wrist, so it's okay that it doesn't have quite enough beads. So this is the full string of beads, purple, green, and the little starfishes. Actually, first, what I'm going to do is tie a knot at this end. That way, when I tie them together, I'm not accidentally moving the beads and then there ends up with extra string or cord on that side. Alright, now that I've tied both ends, I'm going to tie the ends together. Now comes the glue. Alright, now I want to glue everything together, that way it doesn't come apart. Be sure not to glue your fingers while you're doing this, because let me tell you, jewelry glue on fingers is really hard to get off. And if you had a toothpick, I'm sure this would make this process much easier, but I don't. So I'm taking a little just piece of paper to kind of move the jewelry glue around to make sure I get all those little crevices. Alright, now that I have glued everything down, I'm gonna let that sit there and dry for a little bit before we come back and cut off these little bits. All right, so now I've let the Ariel bracelets set a while. So I'm going to cut off these little end nibs. And I'm gonna try and get them as close as I can to the knot. Okay, and then we have an Ariel bracelet. The next princess I am going to do is Belle. She is my favorite Disney princess. And for this I'm going to be using these yellow beads that are kind of yellow and white dotted. I don't know, they're interesting. And then these brown ones that have a little bit of gold on them. And these flower beads as her little accent. For Belle, I'm also going to be using the elastic cord. So again, I'm gonna like double wrap it, make sure I have enough, and then knot at one end. While Ariel had more even purple and green, at least in my mind, Belle is much more yellow than she is brown, so I'm gonna be using double the amount of yellows as I use browns, if they don't roll away from me. So like with Ariel, I want to put my knots in the center of one of the like sides. So I'm actually gonna be starting with a brown bead because I want to then have 2 yellows after it and then end with 2 yellows so that the brown is surrounded by 2 yellows. Now, I want to go about halfway with my yellow and brown beads, so that for me is, hopefully, 1 brown bead, 2 yellow beads, 3 times. So brown, 2 yellows, brown, 2 yellows, brown, 2 yellows. And then I want to take these little rose beads, if they don't fall away, and do rose, 2 yellows, rose, 2 yellows. Or maybe just rose, 1 yellow. We'll see. Trial and error. And for the last one here, I don't want to do another brown because I want to hook it up like that. Oops. So let's test this out and see if it actually works. And that actually works pretty well. So I'm going to tie an end knot just to make sure that the beads don't go anywhere. I've tied a knot there, and now I'm going to tie knots right here to make sure that it all comes together. And then we're going to glue. Alright, and now I'm gonna let that set. Alright, now we're back for Belle's cutting. Make sure the beads didn't glue themselves to the knot. All right, and now we're just gonna cut. The next bracelet I'm going to do is Megara, who's not a Disney princess, but she's a Disney character, and I really love Hercules. It's a very underrated Disney movie. It's great. And for this one, I'm going to be using purple, the gold from this, and then, alright, I couldn't find a Pegasus little charm here, so I'm using a horse. It's kind of Greekish looking. Okay, it looks nothing like a Greek horse, but it's a horse, and it's kind of, you know, running. It's like, swoosh, you know, the tail's like swoosh, like flying. Anyway, for Meg, I am also using elastic cord. And of course, I am beginning by tying a knot at one end of my cord. Alright, because I only have one of these little wingless Pegasus cord or charms, getting this right in the middle is going to be really important. So I'm going to measure my arm so that I know exactly where it's going to be. Okay, so if we're giving a little bit of wiggle room, it's about 6.5 inches. So I'm going to want that at, what, 325? So like with Belle, I'm going to do, whoops, 2 purples and then a gold. So I'm going to start off with 1 purple and then a gold. If I can find one in my stash. If it doesn't run away from me. And then I'm going to move into 2 purples. That way I end with 1 gold and 1 purple, and then I have 2 purples when I tie it all together. Really? Where are you going? Why are you, like, falling off the table? Oh my god! Why did you fall off the table? So mean. How dare you? Okay, so what I want to do with this is that I want to have 2 golds surrounding it. So I'm going to do 2 more purples on this side, then 1 more gold, then the charm, then another gold, then the purple. Right, so I'm going to just string through my little charm. And it's going to be on its side. Instead of being flat like that, it's going to be like running toward you, but that's fine. And the reason I wanted to do Disney Princess inspired with different charms versus like buying a Pandora charm or a Disney shop charm or something like that is because A, those are expensive, like really, really expensive, like $50 each, ridiculous. But also because I don't want to like beat you over the head with Disney, right? I just want it to be like a kiss of Disney. That sounds weird. A whiff of Disney. This is gonna be 7 inches rather than 6.5, but that's okay, right? So, get rid of that. I am going to knot one end, then I'm going to knot the ends together, and now we glue. Alright, so now that my Meg bracelet has dried completely, I'm going to cut off these little ends. For Pocahontas, I'm going to be using these brown beads and these little turquoise beads that I actually used for my Jasmine bracelet back a couple months ago. And because Pocahontas wears like a taupey brown dress, and then she has that like beautiful turquoise necklace, so I wanted to use that. And then I decided to do a little feather because raccoons are disgusting. They're evil little monsters, and also I couldn't find a raccoon little charm, so I'm going to use this feather charm. Alright, for this bracelet, I want to do something a little bit different with the closure. So I'm going to be using a gold jump ring and then tying each end to that and seeing if that works. We'll give it a shot. So I'm going to tie one end to this jump ring. I have no idea if this is even gonna work, but we're gonna try. And the reason I want to do this is because this is gold and the jump ring is also gold, so I kind of want gold at both ends. And I'm gonna do 3 brown beads and then 1 turquoise because the turquoise is brighter and it's going to call more attention, and I want the brown to stand up to the turquoise, so I want to do 3 brown beads and then 1 turquoise. And as I get closer, I think I'm going to do 2 brown beads and 1 turquoise because I don't want it to be too big on the wrist, because I find that really annoying when it's like moves around too much. So now that I've done my first half, I have my little jump ring, 3 brown beads, turquoise, 3 brown, turquoise, 2 brown, and another turquoise. I'm going to string my feather charm. And I'm going to do through the front and then around the back and then back out. That way the cord is hidden on that side. And this is probably going to move a lot. So I may actually tie this so that it doesn't move as much. And I'm only going to tie it on the one end, that way it has a little bit more give for getting over the hand. So I'm going to do another turquoise. Two browns. Turquoise. And then once you put it on the wrist, it's gonna lay, the feather is gonna lay a bit more flat. Okay, and then I'm gonna tie the other side to the jump ring. And now I am going to glue up my ends. Alright, so now once I've let this dry, I am going to, again, just snip off these little ends. I think next time, if I were to do this again, I would tie this end also, because this kind of coming up is annoying me. So I would recommend tying both ends. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, hit like, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!